The world stands on a knife's edge. These flashpoints didn't just rattle regions, they lit fuses under global stability. Here are the top 10 moments leading into World War III. Number 10. Siege of Mariupol. In early March 2022, Russian armor encircled Mariupol's port district, turning apartment towers into charred skeletons and hospital wards into mass graves. Civilians, some clutching infants, huddled in basements as the city's power grid failed. Aid convoys marked with Red Cross flags were turned away at gunpoint, forcing desperate families to scavenge food from shattered storefronts. Satellite imagery of frozen streets littered with abandoned cars flashed across NATO war rooms, prompting heated calls for an intervention that risked direct conflict with Moscow. That brutal siege didn't merely fracture a city, it tore open Europe's fragile peace, proving that modern urban warfare can still deliver the deepest scars. Number 9. UN aid convoy strike in Gaza. By April 2024, Gaza's humanitarian corridors had become battlegrounds. Clearly marked trucks bearing food and medical supplies lay twisted in metal heaps after overhead strikes. Videos showed aid workers sprinting from exploding pallets, while families, some clutching water jugs, were caught in the spray of shrapnel. International monitors condemned the attack, but condemnation rang hollow as hospitals, already stretched beyond capacity, lost vital supplies. The strike ignited protests in capitals worldwide. Londoners blockaded UN offices, Delhi's parliament raged, and Washington faced fierce congressional outcry. That moment shattered any illusion that Gaza's suffering could remain a sidelines issue. It became a litmus test of global resolve. Number 8. U.S. drone strike on IRGC command post. On a moonless night in 2025, U.S. Reaper drones sliced through Iran's desert sky, delivering Hellfire missiles into an IRGC command hub near Zahedan. The compound's reinforced walls collapsed in fiery echoes heard miles away. Within hours, Tehran's supreme leader vowed harsh vengeance, unleashing allied militias in Syria, Iraq, and Yemen to launch rocket barrages against U.S. bases. Oil prices spiked 8%, and panic rippled through stock exchanges from Tokyo to Frankfurt. Diplomatic cables leaked warnings that any misstep could ignite a full-scale regional conflagration. That strike underlined how drone warfare has blurred the lines between covert action and overt war. Number 7. Iran's missile volley at Israel. In October 2024, as Gaza reeled from famine and blackouts, Iran's Revolutionary Guard launched a spearhead of over 200 ballistic missiles and kamikaze drones toward Israeli air bases at Nevatim and Tel Nof. Sirens wailed across Tel Aviv as Iron Dome interceptors flared like meteors overhead. Though most threats were neutralized, 3 warheads struck a logistics depot, leaving supply officers dead and national morale shaken. Prime ministers in Jerusalem convened emergency security councils, and Israeli citizens spent nights in sealed rooms. That volley proved the conflict's domino effect. A war in Gaza had now morphed into a direct Iran-Israel showdown. Number 6. Gaza's humanitarian collapse. By December 2023, Gaza's power grid had been severed for weeks. Water pumps lay silent, and hospital wards overflowed with wounded, many too weak to even cry out. Newspapers featured haunting photos: a baby lying on an ice pack, children sifting through rubble for clean water, parents begging for fuel to run life-saving generators. International aid agencies pleaded for corridors. Celebrities broadcast pleas on social media. Yet every ceasefire attempt unraveled in fresh gunfire. That human toll turned Gaza into a moral crucible, forcing every major nation to confront the real cost of geopolitical inaction. Number 5. India's Operation Sindoor. In May 2025, following a devastating terror ambush in Kashmir's Herbal sector that killed 16 soldiers, India launched Operation Sindoor. Sleek BrahMos cruise missiles streaked across the Himalayan night, obliterating multiple militant hideouts concealed in cave networks on the Pakistani side of the line of control. Islamabad's air defenses roared to life, lighting the sky with tracer rounds, while Indian drones captured the strikes in real time. For days, trains were halted, embassies sounded alerts, and global leaders whispered of nuclear doctrines. That sharp, surgical response demonstrated modern warfare's cruel calculus. A single strike can bring two nuclear-armed giants to the brink. Number 4. Pakistan's Operation Bunyan al-Marus. Just hours after Sindor, Pakistan retaliated with Operation Bunyan al-Marus. Mirage fighters darted through high-altitude clouds above Poonch, releasing precision munitions on logistical depots, while surface-to-air missile batteries downed Indian drones. Smoke pillars rose from destroyed convoys, and radio traffic crackled with urgent orders to scramble additional squadrons. New Delhi accused Islamabad of reckless brinkmanship. Islamabad framed it as righteous defense. For one fraught night, South Asia rehearsed an apocalypse scenario. Only emergency UN-brokered talks in Doha prevented escalation into full-scale war. Number 3. Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. At dawn on February 24, 2022, columns of Russian tanks rolled across Ukraine's northern frontier. Border villages vanished under heavy armor. Civilians grabbed backpacks and fled toward unknown futures. Satellite feeds showed strikes on power plants, plunging cities into darkness, while makeshift shelters swelled in Lviv and Odessa. NATO rushed battle groups to Poland and the Baltics. Refugees flooded EU borders by the millions. That shock and awe assault shattered the post-Cold War security framework, reminding the world that territorial conquest still carries the deadliest of consequences. Number 2. U.S.-Israel strikes on Iran's nuclear sites. One dawn in June 2025, waves of U.S. F-35s and B-2 Spirits, backed by Israeli F-16s, sliced through desert haze to attack Iran's fortified nuclear facilities at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. Bunker-buster ordnance punctured underground centrifuge halls, while satellite-linked comms captured the moment reactors stuttered to silence. Tehran's Supreme National Security Council denounced the raids as global war crimes, and oil futures spiked 20% in minutes. That coordinated strike crossed a historic red line, declaring that even sanctuary bunkers were no refuge from preemptive warfare. Number 1. Cairo ceasefire collapse. On August 10, 2024, a fragile 48-hour truce brokered in Cairo crumbled before sunrise when artillery rounds ripped through northern Gaza. Families seeking safety in makeshift shelters were caught in crossfire. Medics, already exhausted, transformed school hallways into trauma wards, treating hundreds of casualties in a single hour. International mediators, blindsided by renewed shelling, scrambled to salvage any vestige of peace. That collapse proved beyond doubt that diplomacy alone can't silence the guns once war's momentum takes hold. That's it for this Top 10 Trove. If you love videos like these, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. See you in the next one.